Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezwa Elimi. Today, let us take a look at the mentality of hatred. What does it mean when we hate people? What exactly is going on our inside when we express hatred? That's what we'll be looking at today. In one of my videos, I stated that the things we hate in others are actually what nature, what the universe or God is asking us to correct in ourselves. It is a way of our system screaming out to us that we need to make transitions from the lower levels of existence to the higher level of existence. Our peace, our growth, our development is resting on that transition. I am Osezwa Anthony Elimi. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. Is the anatomy of hatred. What is hatred really? What is it like? Now, I will start by saying that the phenomenon of duality teaches us, seduces us to the understanding that there are others and there are us, that we are separate. So when I see something in another that I do not quite feel good about, that I'm not comfortable with, I conclude that I hate the other person, that the other person is beneath me or the other person is separate from me in a very disharmonious manner. So the concept of dislike, aversion, hatred is established. But what exactly is the message that life is giving to us in the game of hatred? You see, if you see somebody that is dirty, does the person attract you to be dirty? If you see somebody that is brutish, does the person attract you to be brutish? Can't you just accept people for what and who they are and not be affected by it? How come you are affected? That is the purpose of our discussion today. I will start by telling us a story, a very simple story. There is a lady, a young socialite. She is a celebrity kind of person. She is rich and very comfortable. She's single, but along the line she employed a housekeeper who has a child. Because she doesn't have a child of her own, she's not married, she's single, she tries to tolerate little children. On this day, the mother went out, and so she decides to play with the 3-year-old daughter of her nanny. They were in her room. Her room is clean, picture perfect clean, all white, everything lovely. The bed well laid by the mother, and it is smelling sweet, the aura of a beautiful woman's house. Then this 3-year-old child is with her. She adores her, and with a level of fear, trepidation somehow, she was moved to relieve herself. Somehow she relieved herself on the bed. And this lady saw it and couldn't stand it. She was frustrated, she was furious, but she couldn't lash out on the little child. She's a baby, as far as she was concerned. And so what she did was to wrap the entire bedspread. Wrap it, and in the room, there's a trash can, and there is a basket for used clothes. She couldn't put it there because as far as she was concerned, the whole room was smelling. She packed everything and dumped them outside in the trash can. The nanny returns, and she could see that her boss's bedspread with all the frills and beauty was stuffed inside the trash can. She rushes for it, picks it up and says, "Madam, what happened?" And then of course the woman said, "Don't bring that into this house. It is smelling. The whole apartment is smelling. What went on? Your baby pooed on it. And how couldn't you train your baby to know when to relieve herself? She's no longer a child, but she's 3. All the pent-up feeling, she had to let them loose on the nanny. Nanny felt small and she felt sorry. She apologized and said she was going to wash everything and bring it back to Lee. Said, no, don't bring it back to this house. Just keep it. You have your apartment, you can use it there. Now, yes, the nanny loves the bedspread, but that is not how she wanted to have it. She doesn't want it to be rejected to her, but in this case, it has been rejected to her. So she takes it, she goes away to face her chores for the day. Now, night comes. The nanny and the baby are sleeping in their little apartment, and the lady decides to go and relieve herself in her toilet. As she sat on her toilet bowl and she was relieving herself, she notices that the same odor, the same smell she could not stand in the baby's poo is the smell that is coming out from her. And she stops to analyze, say, what is going on? How come my poo is smelling exactly as the baby's poo? And I can tolerate it, but I couldn't tolerate that of the baby, that I had to turn my room upside down, clean up the entire place with disinfectant and spray the room with air freshener. Why? What hit her is that they feed on the same food because they are living together. It is what the nanny prepares for her that she eats, and that the nanny also eats with her baby. Therefore, they are actually feeding on the same substance. Hence, they have the same odor. Yet, she could not stand the smell of the baby's poo. But now, she's very comfortable in her toilet with her own poo. The only thing that is making her feel uncomfortable now is that it is smelling the same way as that of the baby, which she couldn't stand. This is where the challenge of life comes. She is even lucky that she's able to draw this connection. Many people are not able to draw the connection. They are not able to understand that the people that they hate and they are feeding from the same society, the same news, the same social structure, the same belief environment is feeding all of them. They live on the same experiences, and the processing of information are not different. So the connection that you have with life should not lead you to elevate yourself mentally above other people. That will be ego. That is how ego. Just be a little bit tolerant and understand that people are going through the same life experiences as you are. You might think you are better at processing things, but the truth is that the end product of your life and that of those people you think you are better than, that you dislike and detest, will end up to be the same. Let me tell you this again. If there is anybody you cannot stand, that person is your reference for your inner being. You cannot stand this person because the person is mirroring to you the thing in you that you must change, the thing in you that is responsible for your lack of progress. So when you begin to tolerate people and begin to understand them better, you find out that your life itself begins to change for the better. We are connected. There's no separation. Just imagine that all of us, we are like tiny mirrors reflecting one life, one existence. The mirrors are many billions of mirrors, if not trillions, reflecting angles of the same source, of the same entity. We shouldn't kill ourselves. This Christmas season and beyond, let's take this message and understand that we are one. Experiences may separate us one way or another. Spaces may separate us. Social structures, social status may separate us. But at the end of the day, nozoms on, we are one. The things you cannot tolerate in others, you tolerate in yourself. The understanding still remains that the life that we live is a life of unity. We are all connected. Anything we cannot stand outside is inside of us. You see that poo, that odor that she could not stand on the outside was right on her inside. Will she not bundle herself and go and throw into the trash can? No. Will she now reject herself and hope that somebody else will pick her up? No. We tolerate ourselves, but we find it very difficult, if nearly not impossible, to tolerate others. In this season, my friend, if you really are gunning for peace, for happiness, for acceptance, you have to, one, learn to accept yourself. How do you know that you are accepting yourself? It is the ability to tolerate in others the things you tolerate in yourself. Our self-hatred are actually projected on other things, other people outside of us. We don't love ourselves really. No, we don't. But we think we do. because we have to cope. We have to keep up with ourselves. A lot of the times when we are suffering depression, what is happening is that we are tired. We are fed up with coping with our inadequacies. And because we have been used to projecting, as in turning our aggressions meant for us to others, we really don't get the gist. People who are able to tolerate others are people who have forgiven themselves, who are truthfully in love with themselves. If you are intolerant, if you are just trying to get along with others, it is because you are not in love with yourself. Self-love is actually demonstrated by the love of others. It is unconditional. I remember I posted some months back on Facebook saying that self-love is the beginning of life. That you have to love yourself, shower love upon yourself, and it will be easier for you to live a life. And somebody said, this is becoming hedonistic. This idea of self-love. The person could see from the perspective of the ego self. I am not talking about the ego self. I'm talking about the higher self, the all-inclusive self. The ego self is the separatist self. It is the self that sees itself as distinct from others. It sees itself as separate from every other human being, every other entity, and even separate from the source. That is why before the source, it feels worthless, it feels unworthy, it feels whatever. And before others, it is either of three things. One is people that are either above, that they want to measure up with, and they try to worship them, to adore them, in order to lick their boots, to be in their good favor. Or the people are equal to them, in which case they want to fight them, they want to compete with them, they want to struggle things with them. And then the last one, people that are beneath them, whom they tolerate, people that they shower contempt on, people that they kick down and they kick off. This is the level of relationship amongst humans who are ego struck. But to the self-lover, somebody who is woke, who is alive to their responsibility in life, they do not see anybody on the level of cadre or grades. Everybody is the same. The rich, the poor, the high, the low, the fat, the slim, all of them, the old and the children, they are all the same. When they are with babies, they relate to babies and children as if they were equals. When they are with people of their age, they relate to them with dignity and respect. When they are dealing with people that are higher than them, they deal with them as if they were on the same level. Because what is this idea of somebody higher than you? Is it economic status, social status? What is this? These are all illusionary. None of these is real. At the end of the day, we are all one. We are all equal. Strip us of all the attires of career, attires of social labels. At the end of the day, we are humans on the inside. We are all fighting to make meaning of our existence. Some of us, when we are fighting to make meaning of our existence and we are struck by material success, we forget about the need to make meaning and we start reveling in the material success at the expense of the quest that was key at the beginning. And when we lose that quest, our sorrow begins. What else do you want me to say? Tolerate? No. Accommodate? Maybe. But the most important thing we should do is accept people for what they are. I'm only talking about people right now because that is the least level. I can tell you that it grows beyond that. We're just starting with something. At least human beings look like you. At least you can see something you can see in yourself in them. Love them. But this thing grows beyond that. It goes to the level of the animals, the plants. At the end of the day, these are all creations. These are all children of the supreme source. You cannot love the supreme and then hate any of his creations. It's not possible. You can't love a couple and then hate their children. Most of the times you will say, I would, but because of your parents, I let go. In the same way, you cannot be a lover of God, a respecter, a valuer of the supreme, and then at the same time, you hate any human being or any creature. There are some people who have special aversions for certain creatures, I understand. It is not the creature that they hate, it is the experience they had that have been connected into them. It is the program that is running them, making them think that they actually hate those creatures. One who has overcome aversion has crossed the boundary of duality and has entered into the realm of unity. And in the realm of unity, there is peace, there is abundance, there is wealth, there is wisdom. This season, I wish you a life of peace, a life of understanding, a life of growth, and a life that is rich with self-love. God bless you and compliment of the season. Thank you.
Positive.